You know that feeling when you can't quite find the right word, or you walk into a room and forget why you went there? It happens to all of us as we get older. But here's the encouraging news. What you put on your plate can make a real difference for your brain. Researchers have spent years studying which foods actually help protect our memory and thinking skills as we age. Today I'm going to share the 10 best foods for your brain based on real science and explain why they matter and how to add them to your day. The science of food and brain health. Let me start by sharing what the research tells us about eating for brain health. Scientists have identified a specific eating pattern called the MIND diet, which stands for Mediterranean-Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay. It was designed based on years of evidence linking certain foods to brain protection. Multiple studies with thousands of participants have found that people who follow this way of eating have significantly better cognitive outcomes as they age. These foods work together to reduce inflammation, fight oxidative stress, and support the structure and function of your brain cells. Let's look at the 10 best foods you can start adding to your routine today. Leafy green vegetables. At the very top of the list are leafy greens like spinach, kale, collards, and Swiss chard. A landmark study published in the journal Neurology followed nearly 1,000 older adults for an average of 5 years. The researchers discovered something remarkable. People who ate about 1 1/3 servings of leafy greens per day had slower cognitive decline compared to those who ate very few. In fact, their brain function was equivalent to someone 11 years younger. These greens are packed with brain-protective nutrients, including vitamin K, lutein, folate, and beta-carotene. Vitamin K has anti-inflammatory effects in the nervous system and is involved in the health of brain cell membrane. Aim for at least 1 serving daily. That could be a cup of raw greens in your salad or half a cup of cooked greens with your dinner. Berries. Berries hold a special place in brain healthy eating. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries are rich in compounds called flavonoids, particularly anthocyanins, which give them their deep colors. A comprehensive meta-analysis of randomized controlled trials found that dietary flavonoids induced significant benefits to cognitive performance, with berries showing notable improvement. These compounds can actually cross the blood-brain barrier and help reduce inflammation in brain tissue. They also support communication between brain cells and boost growth factors that help maintain and create new neurons. Another study focusing on subjective cognitive decline found that higher intakes of flavonoids from berries were associated with lower odds of memory complaints. The MIND diet recommends at least 2 servings of berries per week. A serving is about 1 cup of fresh or frozen berries. Frozen berries are just as nutritious as fresh and are often more affordable, so there's no barrier to including them year-round. Fatty fish. Your brain is about 60% fat, and much of that fat is the omega-3 type. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, trout, and tuna are the best sources. A comprehensive review published in 2025 examined the role of omega-3 fatty acids in brain aging. The researchers found that DA and EPA, the 2 main omega-3s in fish, may reduce inflammation in the brain, promote the health of neuronal membranes, and help clear away toxic proteins that accumulate with age. Another study in mice showed that long-term omega-3 supplementation preserved the brain's waste-clearing system and improved cognitive behaviors in aging. The MIND diet recommends eating fish at least once per week. If you're not a fan of fish, talk to your doctor about whether an omega-3 supplement might be right for you. Nuts. Nuts are little powerhouses for brain health. Walnuts, almonds, pecans, and hazelnuts all provide vitamin E, which is a powerful antioxidant that protects cell membranes from oxidative damage. A scientific review on the anti-aging potential of tree nuts found that they contain bioactive compounds that have a synergistic effect in preventing and delaying age-related neurodegenerative diseases. The polyphenols in nuts act as direct and indirect antioxidants, reduce inflammation, and modulate many cell signaling pathways involved in brain age. Walnuts, in particular, are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3. The MIND diet recommends at least 5 servings of nuts per week. A serving is a small handful, about a quarter cup. Keep a bowl on your counter for easy grabbing, or add them to oatmeal and salads. Olive oil. Olive oil is the primary source of added fat in the MIND and Mediterranean diets, and for good reason. It provides vitamin E and vitamin K, along with anti-inflammatory compounds called polyphenols. One study examining dietary patterns and brain health found that using olive oil as your main cooking fat was associated with better cognitive outcomes. Use it for sautéing vegetables, in salad dressings, or drizzled over roasted dishes. Even just a tablespoon a day can make a difference. When possible, choose extra virgin olive oil, which is less processed and contains higher levels of those beneficial polyphenols. Whole grain. Your brain runs on glucose, but it needs a steady supply, not the spikes that come from refined carbohydrates. Whole grains like oats, quinoa, brown rice, barley, and whole wheat provide that steady fuel along with fiber and B vitamin. The fiber supports the gut-brain axis, promoting beneficial gut bacteria that communicate with your brain. B vitamins help metabolize homocysteine, an amino acid that can be harmful to brain health at high levels. The Mind Diet recommends at least 3 servings of whole grains daily. Start your day with oatmeal, choose brown rice with your meals, and look for bread with whole grains as the first ingredient. Beans and legumes. Beans, lentils, chickpeas, and other legumes are another key food for brain health. They provide plant-based protein, fiber, and B vitamin, all of which support cognitive function. A review on dietary factors and cognitive function found that beans and legumes were among the foods with the strongest inverse associations with subjective cognitive decline. That means people who ate more beans had fewer memory complaints. They're also economical and versatile. Add them to soups, salads, grain bowls, or enjoy them as a side dish. The Mind Diet recommends beans at least 3 times per week. Cruciferous vegetables. Beyond leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage deserve a special mention. They contain glucosinolates, which your body converts into compounds that have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. These vegetables are also rich in folate and vitamin K, both linked to slower cognitive decline. Aim to include them several times per week. Roasting brings out their natural sweetness, making them especially delicious. Poultry. Chicken and turkey, when eaten without the skin, are healthy protein sources that fit well into a brain-protective diet. The Mind Diet recommends poultry at least twice per week. It provides protein for brain structure and B vitamins for energy metabolism. The key is to choose baked, roasted, or grilled poultry rather than fried. And remember that the overall pattern matters more than any single food, so poultry is just one part of the bigger picture. Tomatoes. Tomatoes deserve a place on this list because they're rich in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that protects cells from damage. Lycopene is better absorbed when tomatoes are cooked, so tomato sauce, tomato paste, and even canned tomatoes are excellent choices. One study examining nutrients and brain health found that carotenoid-rich vegetables, including tomatoes, were associated with better cognitive outcomes. Add them to sauces, soups, stews, or enjoy them fresh in salad. Putting it all together, the bigger picture. Here's what the research consistently shows. It's not about any single miracle food. It's about your overall eating pattern. Multiple systematic reviews have found that higher adherence to the Mind Diet is associated with better cognitive outcomes in older adults. This eating pattern emphasizes vegetables, especially leafy greens, berries, nuts, whole grains, beans, fish, and poultry, while limiting red meat, butter, cheese, sweets, and fried foods. The cumulative effect of your daily choices matters most. Simple tips for getting started. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start with 1 or 2 changes. Add a serving of leafy greens to 1 meal daily. Have berries with your breakfast or as a snack. Include fish in your weekly meal plan. Keep a bowl of nuts on the counter. Switch to whole grains gradually. Use olive oil as your main fat. Small, consistent changes are more sustainable than dramatic overhauls. Set one small goal this week and build from there. Your brain will thank you over the long term. Think of these foods as investments in your brain's future. Every serving of leafy greens, every handful of berries, every piece of fish is a deposit in your cognitive health bank account. The research is clear. What you eat matters profoundly for your brain as you age. But this isn't about perfection. It's about direction. It's about making more good choices than bad ones, most of the time. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Your brain is worth it.